Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me for the Daily Rundown. I'm Kara Rucker. The D.C. mayor is calling on the federal government to get back to work or hand over the empty office space consuming their downtown. And a new report reveals fentanyl deaths in children have surged at an alarming rate. But we begin with the first March for Life rally in Washington, D.C. since the overturning of Roe, drawing in thousands of people. This is Straight Arrow News, unbiased, straight facts. Pro-life voices are being heard in the nation's capital in the 50th annual March for Life taking place today. Thousands of supporters are in attendance, marking the first time the anti-abortion rally has taken place since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This Sunday also marks 50 years since the Roe v. Wade ruling. On the other side of this, Vice President Kamala Harris will deliver an address in Florida. According to a senior administration official, Harris will speak about the White House's commitment to abortion access and will make the case for national legislation to protect reproductive rights. After the overturning of Roe v. Wade, pro-life centers along with abortion clinics became the target of people's anger, depending on what side of the issue they fell on. At least 10 attacks on pro-life centers from Oregon to New York are unsolved. Centers have been set on fire and vandalized with no consequences. The FBI is now looking for the public's help in these open investigations, offering $25,000 for information that leads to an arrest. FBI Director Christopher Wray said, "Today's announcement reflects the FBI's commitment to vigorously pursue investigations into crimes against pregnancy resource centers, faith-based organizations, and reproductive health clinics across the country. We will continue to work closely with our national, state, and local law enforcement partners to hold responsible anyone who uses extremist views to justify their criminal actions." The D.C. mayor is telling President Biden to order his employees back to work or watch D.C. die. In her re-election address to the city, she laid out how vital the downtown area is to D.C., yet it's a ghost town since workers, largely government employees, have been working from home. The federal government owns or leases 1/3 of the office space, and she wants to see activity in her downtown.
We need decisive action by the White House to either get most federal workers back to the office most of the time or to realign their vast property holdings for use by the local government, by nonprofits, by businesses, and by any user willing to revitalize it.
We first reported in November thousands of immigrants' personal information was mistakenly posted on the Immigration and Customs Enforcement website. Now ICE is attempting to make up for the error. Nearly 3,000 immigrants have been released by ICE after their names, birth dates, and detention locations were somehow made public for hours. The sensitive information is said to have possibly put migrants in harm's way after escaping torture and persecution from their volatile home countries. To mitigate the risk, ICE is allowing affected immigrants to stay in the U.S. and is looking to help bring back immigrants who were already deported before the breach. Fentanyl overdoses continue to be the #1 killer of Americans aged 18 to 45. But this isn't even accounting for the fentanyl exposures killing our children. That's according to a shocking new report. Kids under 14 are dying of fentanyl poisoning at a faster rate than any other age group. According to the CDC, infant deaths from fentanyl poisoning doubled between 2019 and 2021. Deaths among toddlers tripled. And children between the ages of 5 and 14 who fell victim to fentanyl quadrupled in the same 2-year span. Illegal versions of the synthetic drug can look like candy, and it's easily mixed with drugs like cocaine and heroin. In many cases, the drug is ingested unknowingly. 2 milligrams of fentanyl is enough to kill, which is equal to just 10 grains of salt. America's first 3D printed two-story home is being built in Houston, Texas. The 4,000 square foot home is being constructed by a machine that pours concrete from a nozzle one layer at a time. The technology has been breaking ground in the U.S. home building market for the last couple of years. Several 3D printed homes have been built or are currently being constructed across a handful of states, but never a two-story until now. These are your top headlines on this Friday afternoon. Thanks for watching the Daily Rundown with Straight Arrow News. We're on a mission to bring back trustworthy journalism by only serving you, not an agenda. We'll see you back here Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a wonderful weekend.